Hi everybody, Kitsune Haruri here, and welcome to Doll Yokai. This is going to be the first video, and unfortunately, to celebrate this momentous occasion, the viewing screen went out on my camera. So I'm gonna hope that I'm framed up okay. I'm not like totally chopped off anywhere. But to be perfectly honest, I have no idea what's being recorded right now. Anyway, once I get back behind the camera and can look at things, it should be alright. So on the next part of this video will be cool. For now, please forgive the bad framing. Anyway, like I had said in the introduction for this new channel, this is all going to be about dolls, either making, rehabbing, repainting, just everything dolls. This was before I said it was the most popular subject matter on my original channel, it's actually the second most popular. The first most popular, I don't really have much in the way of content for, and that would be furry content. Pretty much all the established furry content makers are saying all the stuff, and they're a little bit more traveled than I am anyway, because this gray muzzle stays home a lot more. Not so young anymore. Anyway, what do we do next? We do dolls. Not because it's my second most favorite thing, but it's right up there on the same level. And I realized, hey, I've been doing this stuff for years anyway, so may as well share. So today, like I said in the first video, I'm going to be looking at using a new technique to me, but apparently has been being done by a lot of the other doll makers for quite some time, and that is rerooting. Now, I went and bought a couple of things off of Amazon, because doesn't just about everybody when you don't have resources at home? The first of all, this came. I know it doesn't look like much. If you crochet, it looks like a crochet needle carrier, which, yeah, it kind of is a crochet needle carrier, but it's got something very different inside, which I'll be showing you. And to get a chance to try this out, I, of course, needed some doll heads to reroot. So I found myself a bag of doll heads. Interestingly, they very closely resemble Monster High doll heads. Maybe not as stylized, but they're about the size they are when everybody goes shrinking them down, and they're still soft. So these are a possibility if you want to change out your Monster High doll heads for something smaller. These work, and both of them were pretty cheap. I don't remember exactly how much because I bought this stuff almost 6 months ago in anticipation of starting this channel. That's how long it's been taking me to get this done. And mind you, at the time I'm recording this, honestly, it's probably way before I even get this out, because I'm going to get some stuff put together first. Probably replace this crapadoodle camera. Please let me replace this crapadoodle camera. It is bad. But anyway, I'm going to do a few improvements here, and I'm going to be experimenting with my editing. Wish me luck. So guys, let me go ahead and switch over to the table, and we'll get a closer look at the contents of these containers, and then I'll get right on down to trying this out. Alright, see you in just a few. Alright everybody, we're at the table, and to make sure I'm in frame with you, I've put a little mark that tells me where the farthest over the camera can see, because I can't look and see what I'm showing you, so bear with me. Let's go ahead and have a look at what's in these containers. So I ordered this. This is a kit for doing doll hair rerooting. Comes in a nice little carrier case, which I very much appreciate, because when I ordered it, it didn't show you this. So I was walking around going, what am I going to put this in? How long are they? I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, it's got this nice little case. And inside, as you can see, I haven't opened up anything yet. We've got these. Looks like a nice bit of equipment in here. There were no instructions. I'm going to be doing this blind. Speaking of blind, let's go ahead and switch the glasses out. Let's have a good close look at what came in this package. Okay, so I've got two handles here, and these are two-sided. Sorry, these are two-sided. These are for holding the needles, it appears. And just tighten them up there. It seems the needle holders are two-sided as well. So I can open this up on this end, change that. Actually, let's look down inside. There's enough space down in there. I don't know if you can see down in it, but there's a hole that goes all the way down. I'm betting I can put the needle in and leave it in there, which is a nice touch. So two-sided there. I've got a secondary one here with extra pieces that just twist together. They're aluminum, it feels like, which is very nice, and it's got a nice textured surface, easy to grab a hold of. And I've got two of these, which appear to be awls, A-W-L, for punching holes. I believe they're the same size. Yeah, they're both the same size, very sharp tip, and a little bit of a taper so you can widen the hole if need be. And now I've got this little pack of needles. Now, if you've watched Papa Natalia, she made her own by just cutting the head of a sewing pin. I didn't want to, because I know me, and doing stuff like that sometimes goes very awry. But, you know, if it works for you, you can do that. I'm pretty sure you can't see this very well. Not with my camera, anyway. But basically, it's just a straight piece of metal with a split at the top to catch the hair. Let's go ahead and apply one of these. This is very thin. Are there different thicknesses in the bag? It looks like I've got all one thickness, but there's 1, 2, 3. There's 6 of them, which is nice. Looks like it goes in the smallest size, so I'll loosen that up. Fit it right down in there. I think. Maybe it doesn't go in that size. This one? That one's too big. Let me flip it. That one's very big. That one's kind of indented and really, really big. Maybe it is the first one. And look at my other sizes here. It appears like that should be the right one. So maybe it's just a little tight. Let me do it like this. Alrighty, well, first challenge dealt with. I did get a cheaper kit, and now I found out why. The only one that was small enough to hold the needle was actually a little bit too tight. So I had to get out the pick, press it open, get out the needle nose, start pressing it in, and now that son of a gun's in there. So, fortunately, it doesn't take a lot of cross pressure, so it should stay in pretty firmly. Be prepared for that, though, if you're getting a cheaper kit. Even if it does have a lot of nice accessories, you might have a situation where it's hard to work with. I'll probably set up the other one in case I break this needle. But meanwhile, we're kind of ready to roll, I believe. Let me put away my hook here and my needle nose. And let's pull out a head. Let me get some of these other things out of the way. I'm going to use one of these to poke the holes in the head to get that in. So, let's close this up, get rid of our trash, and move to the next thing, which are the heads. And this is just a little bag of random doll heads. That's all. And so they still have the flash on them and everything. There is a little bit of a line here that shows like a hairline and a part line. If that's what you want to use, then yeah, that should work just fine. I'm going to try and clean this up a little bit before I start. And then I'm going to start trying to put some of this hair on this head. Excuse my shoulder close up here. Just clean that up a little bit. Maybe. Yes, I am using a bunch of sharp objects here and tools. Doll modification is really not for kids at this level. Repainting a doll, fine. Redressing a doll, certainly fine. Start there if you're young and don't have the skill sets yet. But when it comes down to cutting and using power tools and all that, either get help from a parent or just wait until you're older. Because frankly, it ain't worth getting hurt over. Yeah, learning those skills will be a good thing. Definitely learn them. But wait until you're of a good age to do it. Alright, so we got that cleaned up. Little shavings everywhere. Now we got a sharp pointy thing here. And from what I've seen the other doll makers do, they usually start with this outer line and build their way up to the crown. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start out by punching the holes. I think I'll give her a part line too while I'm at it. Lay this down here. Should be able to just press. Yes, very nice. A little further in. Press. Nicely. You want to give a little bit of space between each. Don't make the holes too close or you'll end up tearing out the head. We'll end her part there, just behind the line. These doll heads are relatively soft, which is nice if you're just starting out like me. Make those nice little rows of holes. I'm not sure how well you can see them on this camera, but yeah, there's 2 little rows. I've made them evenly spaced. Now I'm going to go around the edges, and we'll come back around and start doing the rooting. Alright, so I've gone around the edges and up the part line. I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the rooting. And for that, I already have a box of different types of doll hair. I haven't ordered from any official sites for that. Some of it's just stuff that I've had lying around, and some of it I have found at Hobby Lobby and Joann's. And I think for this one, what color hair do I want to use? I'm going to do the shiny gold looking hair. It's a nice strawberry blonde, it looks like. It says blonde, but it looks a little more strawberry to me. I can't get it open. Some tough packaging, let me tell you. I'll just pull this out. Definitely a polyester hair, you can tell by the sheen and the feel of it, but it's not too bad. Yeah, see, keep that silica pack in there. Now, basically, all you're going to do is take a few strands from the middle, just a little bit. I may be getting too much, I don't know. And then, I think I've got it. Catch it on here. Yeah, I think I have too much. Get a few strands. I've got it. And you find your hole. Start on this one. And push it in. There you are. I'll be doing this all the way around and up the middle, and probably be adding some more after that. I am indeed leaving it in its rubber band because, as you can see, this hair is already being a mess. That's okay. Just learning here. A few strands. That's where I line them up. Alright, I'm going to continue working on this, and I will be right back when I get a little further in. There's the first row. Kind of sparse looking right now, but don't worry, there's going to be a few more rows up in here before we go up the part. And yeah, just so you know, a little bit of a messy process. I am gathering those up and reusing them, by the way. Okay, so I managed to break the needle a lot quicker than I expected to. Looks like I still have enough of it left, though, that I'm going to just reuse the same one and stick it down in there. At least I hope I will. Let's see if I can do this. Same way I did before. It seems to fit in there now. It was pretty tight before. It made it difficult. And we'll just continue right along. Have to keep that in mind. Pick up the strand that I had lost in the process, which is over here in the scrap pile right now. Like I said, the scrap pile will eventually get used. I'll just continue right along, see if it was actually the hole or me. It was me. Anyway, continuing right along now. I've been at this for 45 minutes already, so it's taken me a while, but again, I'm new at this. I've never done it before. We'll see how it goes. And I'll show you, well, where I'm at when I get to the end of this. Or at least when I get to the part. Hi everybody, I'm back. It has been a couple of days since I did the last bit of filming. Got distracted, had a severe allergy attack. Things got set aside. So, I have gone back in. I'm still continuing to root. Keeping in mind that I am new at doing this and having to learn the technique, it has taken me a couple of hours to get this far. Let me put her in a position so you can see better what I'm doing. So far, I have gone all the way around the outside and filled in most of the back. I'm getting ready to go up through the area with the part, and then I'll be filling in this back area. On this particular doll, this right here is a little bit of a different texture. The holes go in a little bit messier, but I don't think it's going to affect anything. Also, please excuse my voice, I'm kind of raspy and snorty. Again, allergies. I did find I was losing a lot of spare material. Now, this isn't going to waste. I figured out by taking an old brush that I can grab this wad up, straighten it back out a bit. Don't worry, you're going to get all that back again. And make another weft to go ahead and add in. Just like that. So you don't have to worry about all this excess waste. You don't have to throw it away. Just brush it down and go ahead and put it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and continue and get the rest of this rooted in. Alright, so we're down to just the part. And I have seen other doll modifiers do this, where they put the little hanks of hair in at an angle. And I don't know if this actually will work with this, but I'm going to try it. And when they do their angle, they're crossing from the left side to the right side to the left, to get a little more coverage through this area. So, let's see if this will work. So, left side hole, angled in. Okay, looks like it might work. We'll see. Right side hole, angled into the left. Oops. One more piece for the part. Alright, so she has a part. Well, the crossover doesn't really seem to do anything. As you can see, it still hangs in there straight. But she is pretty well covered. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in this spot here. Then we'll come back and secure everything. Alright, so I have finished filling in the last of the bulb spot. With her hair sticking up everywhere, she still has patchy looking deal going on, but there's a lot of hair right there.
So the next thing I need to do is secure this so that it doesn't all pull back out. And what I'm going to use is, and it doesn't matter what kind of glue really you use, but I'm using Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. I'm just going to fill up that head cavity a bit and swirl this around with a Q-tip and make sure that it's all nice and secure. I'm trying to make sure I get it up in the areas where the hair is at. This back here is going to be a little difficult. But as long as I touch everything, it should be okay. Ew, look at some of that hair there. Maybe a touch more. You're going to be really full of glue. Okay, quick cleanup. And I'm going to leave her to dry probably until tomorrow, because that's a pretty small space. And it'll cut back a little bit of the airflow, so I'll make sure she's completely dry before I do anything else with her next. Okay, so I have finished plugging in all the hair. It has dried on the inside, is glued in, so it should be relatively secure. Now, to get this to lay down the way it's supposed to, a lot of the other doll creators either use a hot water treatment or they iron it down. I don't want to go messy, and I know that the glue I used is water soluble, so I'm going to go ahead and do the ironing. And that's going to start out with wrapping the head in a piece of cloth, just like you would do with a delicate fabric when you're ironing clothes, should any of you have done that. You don't want the iron touching it directly because it can melt. So I'm just going to figure out where I want her hair to lay. I have her part here. Actually, it's probably going to be about like that. Make sure she's tight on the headstand here. I'm going to wrap this down over her. And then I'm just going to touch the top of this with the iron. Don't hold it in one place too long. If you have poly hair, it'll melt. Just enough to start smoothing it down. You want to check what you're doing as you go. Now I am using a plastic-based doll hair on a plastic-based head. I want to be real careful of the heat, which in the case of this iron, since it's not adjustable, means don't touch it too long. Let's see where we're at. You see it's starting to flatten it out a little bit. Need some more over here for sure. Now that all the hair is rooted in and laying down somewhat naturally, yes, I can see there's some spots that could probably have used a little bit more hair, but for a first try, that's not bad. Now she would be ready for some styling, and you can move on your project from there. I might style this up a little bit and show a few extra finished pictures. But as far as hair rooting, there you have it. That's really all there is. As I said before, some of the doll makers do make their own rooting tools. I just went ahead and bought mine because they're not exactly expensive. The hardest thing for me is finding some hair varieties, which I am told there are sellers on Etsy as well as other places, probably be some on Amazon as well. So everybody, that was it. My first doll hair rooting, and there'll be some more videos coming to you on down the line. Some will be complete dolls, some will be rehabs, and well, you'll just have to wait and see what we got coming up next. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This is the Doll Yokai, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.